Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to American Falls by none other than Lancyboi. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday. I hope you all have today off and can celebrate in your way. Spend time with family and friends. Have a long weekend. I know I need it because next week is going to be an interesting week to say the least. But let's focus on the job at hand. I went ahead and collected our money for the foraging contract we already did. So you can see that we're up to about $89,500 in the bank. The majority of that, of course, is from the bank loan that we took off that we still owe. I think we owe like 200 and some odd thousand. So we're a little ways away from being out of debt again. But you know what? That's what life is. Being in debt and working. I knew this dude. I'm gonna try and talk and work at the same time, but you know how that is. For me, it's not the best combination in the world. I will get this out of the way before I start yapping. Let's change that up to that. And I see our blue line is pretty far over there. Let's scooch it over. Let's just scooch that line way over. Scooch it way, way, way over. Close enough right there. Oh, and let's not forget the working speed mod. And I'm going to bump our speed down to about a comfortable 20 miles an hour. Why not? And we're off to the races. I must have done something right because we're not being told we're working on a field we're not allowed to work on. Speaking of being in debt and working, you guys gave me a couple bumper stickers, which I definitely appreciate. Tin Man, the classic, of course. Honk if you're horny. One of my favorites of all time, I have to say. I had to explain it to Chad. He didn't understand it. So I had to explain it to him. I felt bad because I feel like I'm destroying this poor this poor kid. I mean, he's 20. How old are you, Chad? He's 20. He's 21? 23. 23. He's 23 years old. Oh man, I'm racing. I'm speed racer. He's 23 years old, and I had to explain honk if you're horny. So that should tell you something right there. The other one that I really liked from Jeffrey, which reminds me of a story, which I will, it's a short story, so don't be worried about that, is I owe, so off to work I go. Now, I actually have never seen that bumper sticker before. I quite like it. It's pretty much a story of my life. But when I was a younger lad, still trying to make my way and figure out what it was I wanted to do in life and stuff, I got a summer gig as a car salesman at a Chevy dealership. Out of all things, a new and used car salesman at a Chevrolet dealership. Now, there were some good things about this job. There were some bad things about this job, but there were a lot of good things about this job. One of the good things about the job was I got to test drive a lot of cars. And at the time, we had this brand new Corvette. Now, it was I think it might have been 1990, 91. And we got a brand new Corvette on the lot. And my boss said, you better take it out for a spin. You know what you're selling. One of the best experiences I had in my life. Up to that point, it just was amazing. And on the used car lot, they let me take home one night a Pontiac Firebird, the Smokey and the Bandit car. That's what I'm going to call it. It was the Smokey and the Bandit car. It had the 5.0 liter. If I remember right, it was a 5.0 liter. It was the beastie model. That thing scared me, actually. I should not have been allowed to drive that at that age. That was not a smart decision on anybody's part. But apparently I had my boss... apparently I had my boss fooled enough to where he thought I was much more mature than I was. But a couple of amazing experiences. The first new car I ever sold was a Chevy Suburban, and it was loaded. It was the easiest sale I ever had. By far the easiest sale I ever had. And that's why they gave it to me, because it was to get my feet wet. Because this dude would come in every 2 or 3 years and buy a brand new loaded Suburban. He wouldn't lease or anything. He just bought a brand new loaded Suburban. Excuse me. And at the time, we're talking some serious dollars. I mean, serious dollars even today. I can't believe how much trucks go for today. It's insane. But even back then, it was a lot of money. And this guy, super nice guy, he knew I was new, and he was very patient with me, and it was a great sale, one that I didn't have to work for basically in any way, shape, or form. Oh, there's a little bit of a river right there, a little stream right there. But where was I going with this? Oh yes, the IO, so off to work I go. Well, the used car manager, the used car sales manager, was quite a character. I'm thinking back on him now, and he was the quintessential 1980s materialistic person. I mean, if I had to explain to somebody what it meant to be, first of all, if you lived in the 80s or are familiar with the 80s, it was a very materialistic time. People, I mean, it was the time to own, man. You bought nice cars. Economy was good. We had Reagan. It was just the best decade, in my opinion, ever. But I was young. That's one reason. I didn't have all the stresses or worries of today, but no doubt an amazing decade to live in. But anyways, this used car salesman dude, I spent a week with him for training and kind of getting up to snuff on used car sales and stuff, because you had to cover both lots, the new and the used. And so he had to kind of sleaze me down a little bit. But I remember him being a pretty nice guy. I don't recall not liking him. I thought he was pretty nice guy. I'm sure he did a lot of blow, and he probably, I think he was married, but I'm sure he can, the whole married is loosely, the whole thing. You can picture him. But I remember one day, I was talking to him about buying a car, and I'm like, I'm driving this piece of junk 1978 Dodge Colt. It was actually in really good shape. My parents gave it to me. I shouldn't complain. I mean, come on, my parents gave me a car, right? But you didn't want to be seen in this 1978 Dodge Colt. It's not like, hey ladies, you wanna ride my Dodge Colt? But it had a killer 8-track cassette or 8-track deck in it, though. I'll tell you that much. You opened up the glove box, and there was this really nice 8-track cassette deck. It was beautiful. Did we finish this? Wait, that's an. Oh, look at that counter going all the way to 99%. You suck. What did I miss? Oh, all these little gizmos here. All right, we'll take care of that business right now. So needless to say, I was talking to him one day, and I was saying, hey, man, I think I need to step up my game. He might have even said something to me along those lines like, oh, we're done. Nice. He might have even made some comment to me. He probably did, knowing, knowing who he was. Let's go ahead and collect on this thing. And I think I saw one more fertilizer contract that was of decent money right here. Let's grab this $8,000 gizmo. We have lots of fertilizer, and we've still got time in the day. Clear 100,000. That's nice. So, we're walking around the lot, and he's pointing out different, deals to me and whatnot. Nothing I could afford, but that came up. He's like, well, nobody can afford to buy a car, He's like, that's why they have, leasing, and that's why they have loans and financing. And he's like, how good's your credit? Well, at the time, of course, my credit's fine. I mean, I'm 21, 23 years old or something like that. I'm Chad's age. So my credit's pretty good. It's not a problem. I didn't have a chance to destroy it as of yet. So he ends up telling me to get this one. I think it was a Camaro, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a Chevy Camaro. It was used, but it was in great shape and stuff. And we got to talking, and his words of wisdom to me, he said, you know what, I'm going to tell you something right now. I still can remember him telling me this, because the way he did it, it was so matter of fact. He goes, Brad, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you ever think you're going to make it in this world, you need to be in debt. Because debt is going to be the only thing that is going to drive you to work. And it's going to be the only thing that's going to make you work harder, is being in debt. He said, I am in serious debt, and I plan on being manager of this car dealership soon. And he was dead serious. This dude truly believed in the debt makes the dream come true. And that's why I would absolutely love to... I can't for the life of me, I'll never remember his name, but I would love to know whatever happened to that dude and where he ended up. I'm sure he did well. He was just the kind of guy that seemed to have success, and whatnot. And where are we going? Oh, Field 25. Okay. So, yeah, he was just one of those characters, and he firmly believed in it, and he tried to convert me to his debt lifestyle. It scared me, to be honest with you. At that time in my life, I mean, this car, I'm trying to think of what I could compare it to today. I think we're here. Yes, we are. I'm trying to think of what I could compare it to today. That would be of similar monetary value and stuff. I guess I would almost compare it to if I went out today and bought, well, I guess you could name it, but I would end up with like a $500 to $800 car payment, $800 car payment maybe, $800 to $1,000 car payment, just being tied down to that, and just absolutely just every time you drive it, you're praying to God on high that it doesn't break down, and that you ever have to dump any money into it, or else you are seriously screwed in the old caboose. So I declined his offer. Oh, there's a tree right there. I declined his offer. He tried. I think at some point. Am I hung up? Oh, there we go. I think at some point I started questioning whether this was just a really good sales tactic. Like, is this guy, this guy's brilliant. He's going to sell me a car. He's going to make me feel good about it, about being in debt. And I'm going to drive out of here actually feeling like I did the right thing. And I'm improving my life and my possibilities of being successful in life. He had it all wrapped up. It was brilliant. Except I think I went home and I talked to my dad, and I think my dad, knowing my dad, I'm pretty sure he had other ideas. Other words of, where are we? Are we right here? I guess we are. I'm sure he had other words of advice for me that were quite different than live your life in debt in order to be successful. My family, my mom and dad weren't like serious penny pinchers or anything like bad. I mean, they had 4 kids. They weren't rich. My mom didn't work early on, but she ended up working with like part-time jobs, cleaning and different jobs to bring more money in. And we were never rich, but we were, I think you would definitely call us the middle class family. We were the cleavers, you know. We were the cleavers, the beaver cleaver. June and Ward. I'm not sure. I guess I would have been the beaver. Wally would have been my brother Rod, who I guess he is kind of a Wally, but we were definitely yours. I'm gonna scare the bejesus out of this dude right here. Didn't even look. Wow. Dang. That's pretty good. It does not. Why doesn't it want to? It doesn't want to lock into that. I wonder if it's running into a tree. That's kind of funny. It doesn't want to lock into that. Oh, you know why? I think I know why. We're just gonna, if I can lock into it, I'm just gonna run with it. Yeah, drag that cart, Brad. Drag it. I think I know why it doesn't want to lock in. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. We're gonna hit a tree. But oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Cut that stinker down. But so we weren't ever really hurting for anything, which is nice. I mean, I feel very lucky that we grew up financially secure and so on and so forth. Very, very lucky for that. Not rich, not poor, just right there in between. But my dad would certainly not. He was not an early adopter, let's just say, of anything technology-wise. He, not that he didn't necessarily like technology, and you got to remember technology back in the late 70s and 80s, you know, was a microwave oven, right, or maybe a VCR. But I still remember, and so I guess it made it a bigger deal when we did get tech. You know, when we did get something like that, it was a bigger deal, I guess you could say. Yeah, let's do a little inside jobber here. And I remember when my mom and dad brought home the old, the first microwave we ever got. I think it weighed about 50 pounds. It was quite an appliance. But I just remember thinking how cool it was that I could heat water up for like hot chocolate or make popcorn in a bag. The popcorn in a bag was quite astounding. I mean, because you got to remember, before microwave popcorn, unless you had a dedicated popcorn popper, like an air popper or something, I mean, you're whipping out the old big, large, you know, kettle with oil, and you're doing it old school, you know. Maybe Jiffy Pop. I don't know how long Jiffy Pop was around. It had to have, Jiffy Pop must have been around since the 50s or something, right? I think Jiffy Pop's been around forever. But I guess you could go Jiffy Pop route, but making popcorn was a big deal. It was a big deal. Plus, if you wanted butter, you know, you had to get the old Pyrex measuring cup out, get your butter and melt that, or, you know, melt it on a stove or something with a pan, a saucepan or something. It was all a hassle. But then the microwave, and you could get bags of popcorn, and that was pretty epic. And if you wanted, if you wanted more popcorn or if you wanted more butter, they even made. Why are we at 97%? Because I missed an entire strip. That's why, Brad. I still remember. Then you started buying like special cooking things for the microwave. So there was a special butter melter for the microwave. Then there was a special bacon cooker for the microwave. Everything was, because microwave is just everything. I mean, it was such a huge advancement in that kind of stuff. How did I miss? How did I miss? How did I miss this strip? All right, let's hit it. Let's just get it. Yeah, the microwave is something special. But and then I still remember the day he brought home a VCR. That was absolutely amazing. That opened up a whole new world for us kids, I mean, we were running down to the VHS rental store, the local family-run VHS rental store, to get all the R-rated movies we could, because you couldn't go to R-rated movies unless your parents were with you, and they weren't going to go with us. And we would just tell them, like, oh, beach-going babes, that's just a comedy, PG. I still remember the first movie I saw at home that had nudity of any sort was Airplane. The original Airplane movie? Classic comedy movie. If you have not seen it, shame, shame. Everybody knows your name. You should see it for sure. I mean, come on, over under. Hold the mayo. You ever seen you like movies with gladiators? I mean, I gotta watch that. I might watch that tonight or this weekend. But there was a metal detector scene towards the beginning of the movie when people were going through metal detectors, and of course, a lady goes through the metal detector, and you get the idea. And I remember at the time thinking, this is the best invention I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there is a store that's like 6 or 8 blocks from where I live, and I can go down there anytime I want with like $2, because they were all like 99-cent rentals. Maybe new releases were $2.50. I can go down there and I can get any movie and just have the most amazing weekend ever. And I don't think my parents, even if they did know, they didn't say anything, but they were kind of cautious about it. And of course they did some screening, but you couldn't really screen everything. And my brother, my oldest sister was kind of, excuse me, she was the uppity one. I got to get AWB here. Pardon me for just uno momento, por favor. All right, I'm back. Thank you for that. My sister was a little uppity, and so she would narc. She was a stinking narc, but we were careful. But and this was one of those family video stores. Maybe I'm sure you've all been to one of those. They're not around anymore. They started going out when Blockbuster came in, right? And Blockbuster just absolutely obliterated family video stores. These small ma and pa shops, right? And they were the best too, because there was always this kind of sleazy dude working behind the counter that just was the worst customer service ever. And you would ask him if something was in stock and able to rent, and he was just like so annoyed at the fact that you were asking him to look up a movie. He was just so annoyed. And we're not talking computer lookup. We're talking the old microfiche. Do you remember the microfiche? The old, what you used to see at the libraries where you take those little plastic, I'm using my hands like you guys can see, You know what a microfiche is. If you don't look it up, they were pretty cool at the time. 39%. 39%. Oh well. And of course, he'd end up looking it up and say, yeah, it's available. It's blah, blah, blah. That's, you know, go get it. But every one of these ma and pa stores, is there any place we can go to wash our tractor? Why don't more mod authors put a car wash at the gas station? That's where, if I was a map author, I would always have a car wash at the gas station. And you'd have to pay. You'd have to pay like $10 for the old drive-through wash. Anyways. Oh, I was going to show you a couple other things, actually, now that I say that. Let's just pull our little jobber around here. We could buy a pressure washer, I reckon. I just don't feel like spending the money right now, but we really should. We probably should do that. Maybe. What's our suggested? Suggested working speed is 18 miles an hour. So they give you a suggested working speed. I never noticed that. Interesting. Inspection required in 11 months because we did one. There is damage. Well, let's go get that taken care of right stinking now. We got time. Let's drop off our trailer. We should probably check repairs on our trailer. Let's check repairs on our trailer. $59. It is a lease, but we should probably keep that up since we're keeping that as a lease. You know, too, excuse me, we should probably, I think it was Jeffrey that mentioned it, maybe pick up one of these instead so we don't have to worry about crop destruction. This has the XL capacity, which I like. What's that hold for us? Is that 10,000 liters? That's not too shabby. This only holds 7. This actually holds, so we can get this for 10,000 liters. Old decals. Oh. No decals. You know, we might do this. We might not buy it, but we might trade. I think we should. I think we should. Let's empty this thing out. Let's empty this out. I'm pretty sure the little Valtra, we could add more front weight, but I think it'll handle that. How do you empty these? Control I. Well, that did it, didn't it? All right. Let's get this out of the road. The mailman will absolutely lose his mind if we block the road. And let's go ahead and take this back to the store. Let's end the lease on it, and let's lease the Kubota. But let's do it. It doesn't matter, I guess. We can go either way. But yeah, completely lost my train of thought now. Oh, that's right. We're gonna go get this tractor worked on. That's right. One repair needed. Lovely. Mods. So a couple mods. One of them came out today, which is the placeable. No, additional trigger points. I'll show you when we get to the store. You probably know what I'm talking about already. Kind of cool. You can place triggers anywhere you want to. Like there's a sell everything trigger, and then there's all of the production triggers. So you could place a spinnery trigger right on your farm if you wanted to, and have a little, without the building, you know, just have a spinnery trigger on your farm. Kind of cool, you know. I don't know, maybe cheaty. It's only 5,000 bucks, so it kind of gives you. I haven't tested it completely. I tried out the cell trigger, and that worked really well. I tried it on another map, and that worked as advertised. I think it will sell. It says in the mod description all base game products, so I'm not certain how it will fare if there's some. You know what? The store might be closed. Oh, they're going to be so closed. I'm wasting my time. We got to... Oh, the train. We got to get a key for this gate. I mean, there's nobody else using this thing but us. The store owners should just know. I wonder if we could sneak in. This isn't going to work. Oh, this isn't going to work well, is it? Let me disconnect this. And let's just play a little pretend. The pretend we're going to play is we got the key from the store owner. We're going to pretend I know what I'm doing, first of all. We got the key from the store owner. And he's going to let us go into the store whenever we want to. So just look away if you are allergic to unrealistic play. Look away, baby, look away. And then yeah, I just hate wasting valuable daylight time, you know. We don't need to get into any more contracts, but it would be nice to just, you know, get some other stuff wrapped up, taken care of. So if we don't really even need to do this, I'm just kind of doing it for funsies, but let's go ahead and return. I forget how much this was. Are we getting a lot more expensive by doing this? So we did this. Leasing this was only, yeah, it's a pretty cheap lease. No wonder I did that. XL. We don't want logos, and we are going to paint the bejeebers out of this thing. Jet black with the Valtra. Actually, the Valtra and jet black. Oh, doggies. Leasing that? Oh, yeah. We can do that, right? Decals. Doesn't need to be Kubota. It's not a Kubota. Cover, XL. Lease. Yeah. There she is. And we will return this bad Mamba Jamba. It was good while it lasted. And let's go back to our repair center. Right here. I think we can... I don't think it matters. Do we need to drop the weight? I don't think we do. But I always forget how we get into this. Open maintenance menu. Control J. Total damages to repair is 1. Oh, 655 bucks? That's not bad. We're not going to worry about an inspection. We do want the damages taken care of. Our vehicle will not be startable for now. So we'll pick it up in the morning and we can grab our new spreader. I like this spreader. We use this back on Kubota Farm and it does a nice job. If I remember right, it's got a 42. Is it 42? Yeah, 42 meters. So we don't lose anything in width and we don't have to worry about crop destruction. Thanks for that, Jeffrey. And yeah, that should take care of us. But while we're here, let's go back to the farm. And let me just show you a couple of things, actually, if you're interested. So if we go into production and factories, actually, we'll go to sell point. Here's that sell point that I was telling you about. You can place this anywhere you want. 5,000 G's base price. I think Tin Man might have been the one that explained, maybe TBG. One of you all explained to me why the price changes. See how it's changing, 5011, 5012. My apologies that I don't remember specifically who told me this and learnt me this, but that has everything to do, I guess, with, what do you call it? The landscaping, I guess, right? You add more for how it has to be set on wherever you set it. I'm saying that really wrong, I'm sure, but factories. Here's all the factories that I was telling you about. So let's say you want a sugar mill. There's your sugar mill. $5,000. Place it anywhere you want. And you get a pickup and drop off. You know, I got to test these things because I'm curious if it's only selling. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's everything. Takes goods, yeah, and transforms them into different products. I'd be curious to see where it places pallets and stuff too. But if I remember right, looking at the mod pictures, it puts down all the triggers you would normally have at a production facility. So grain mill, bakery, carpentry, cereal, dairy, oil, grape processing unit, spinnery, sugar mill, tailor shop. Kind of cool. And only $5,000. Yeah, that's pretty cheap. Now, if I remember right, I also added. Now, this cannot stay in the game because technically, this is not an in-game mod hub. So this is definitely going to be for PC Mac only. But I wanted to show you this. Now, I'm a big fan of Dence, D-I-N-C-E, his mods. He does have some mods out in the in-game mod hub. Look him up. His John Deere tractors are fantastic. You can also see his full collection out on King Mods. And I also did a mod review video a while back on, I think, several of his John Deere tractors. This is not a Dence mod. However, it is a base Dence mod. This one is, I think, has like half a dozen different mod authors that this person kind of put different pieces together to make their version of the 8030 series US edition. And I looked this thing over, and it is really, really nice. You've got a lot of engine options. You've got all kinds of tire varieties. Firestone, I mean, let's take a look at the old Firestones. I hope Giants gets. I'm hoping Giants gets contracts with permissions for Firestone. That'd be pretty cool. And Goodyear, right? I don't think they have either one of those. What do they have? They have Michelin. Yeah, Continental. I'm thinking of for North America. I don't know in Canada, but here, Continental. Michelin, but we don't have, I don't think we have like Vridestein or Vridestein, is that what it is? Or I don't know. We certainly don't sell Lizard either, but kind of cool. Mod author did a great job with this, though. A lot of options to choose from. And of course, if you're in the I wish I had that. There's a little scale right there. That's kind of cool. If you're in North America and you want something that's not EU or European so much looking, this is a wonderful dealio. I will try and remember to put the link to this. This is, oh, that's right. This is off of his itch.io page. I will try to find where, I'll try to locate where I found this, and I'll put a link to this mod author's itch.io if you're curious at taking a look at it. I don't remember it being particularly a large download either. Precision farming. I mean, he's got, and I think he enabled, if you use it, I think he also enabled the work camera mod, which you can get, I think that's what it's called, or indoor camera, work camera. in the in-game mod hub. I think he also enabled that dashboard. Is it the dashboard mod or something? It's the deal where you can use your iPad to mimic what you would see on these monitors. But anyways, great mod. It's got a couple little, dealios here, but none of these are game-breaking issues. In fact, I'm thinking they might be there because I don't have those mods installed, the working camera or whatever it's called and stuff, but nothing game-breaking, so you don't have to worry about that. I've yapped about that enough now. But just a couple mods I wanted to show you. If you want to check them out, I will try and remember to put the link to that John Deere. And also, check out Dense's mods out on King Mods. He keeps adding new John Deeres, and every one he's ever done is error-free, and they're just really well done and loaded with options. So there you go. The Valtra's getting worked on. We've got a new spreader, and we're wrapping up July 2nd. So you all have an amazing Good Friday. Great weekend if I don't see you. I'm going to try and record tomorrow, actually, to make up for Thursday's missing video. And so hopefully we'll see each other again this weekend. I'm also going to try and get out into the multiplayer server. Jeffrey, TBG, Gen X, hopefully we'll see you out there. If you want to get on the multiplayer server, become a member of the channel. It's cheap, and you get access to the multiplayer server. And on the rare occasion that I produce a video that I release early to my members, I know I don't do that very often. My apologies. But, yeah, join our Discord. That's free. Subscribe, and that's free. Leaving a like is definitely free and much appreciated. Otherwise, you all take really good care of yourselves. Make sure you take care of each other. You all know that's most important. Be nice, be kind, and carry a big stick. All right. And honk if you're horny. Man. I knew Tin Man was going to leave. Something told me that's what he was going to leave. Hey, you ask and it shall be given, right? All right, guys. I'm wasting time. You guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.